IT security is first and foremost. Second would be there is a lot of focus on IT privacy or data privacy, data sovereignty. And the third would be the new upcoming technologies like 5G and its impact on how workflows within an enterprise will get distributed at a data center level, at an edge level, and how this would affect machine to machine communication. So this is like a upcoming future generation, but otherwise IT security and data privacy are something that is immediate and real. And then looking at 5G and IoT would be the next big step. So one is, I would say, IT democratization refers to IT knowledge and skills percolating from the IT team to the other departments in the organization. Similarly, IT decision making, which originally was prerogative of the CIO, so now you have the CFO, the CRO, the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer, Chief Revenue Officer, Chief Finance Officer, all of them also having a say in the technology decision. So one is a knowledge pervading into the non-IT departments, and other one is the other decision makers from departmental level decision makers having a say on the technology direction or the technology choices. This, I would say, is the two big examples of IT democratization. And third would be people from other departments. They are called citizen developers, being a virtual part of the IT application development and maintenance, where people in departments, they themselves come up with solutions. Instead of just being technology consumers, they take up the problem and they kind of automate the whole process using some low code, no code tool, where the IT team helps them in the process. I would say is another instance of IT democratization. According to our study, both worldwide as well as in India, IT democratization has truly taken root, and there's a lot of collaboration between the IT department and the other departments in the organization. And I think it's also happening because lots of solutions are available freely on the cloud, where the departments themselves can try it. Like, let's take a typical example. If a marketing department were to send a form out for survey, a couple of years back, they would have reached to the IT application development and maintenance team, and there would be a back and forth for 1 week on designing the form, and then it will go out. But nowadays, the marketing team or somebody in the marketing team would just go out to the cloud, pick up a form, put all the fields and just send it out without the IT team knowing it. But then compliance, security and governance need to be taken care. So IT team will have to collaborate with the marketing team to ensure that the compliance, security and the governance is met. So there's a lot more collaboration happening, there's a lot more democratization happening, and this has come out in our survey both in India as well as in world. See, one big thing it brings up is a cultural change in the organization, where individuals, instead of being just technology adopters waiting for somebody else to give the solution, are willing to take up the problem in their hand and come up with solutions. So instead of being technology consumers, they become solution providers. Suddenly everybody gets enabled on that front. So that's a big cultural change, and it's a very big motivational change too. So that is coming from the IT democratization. And second thing that happens is the digital adoption within the organization is bound to accelerate, because everybody is willing to be a part of the solution. So the digital acceleration is bound to accelerate, digital adoption is bound to accelerate. And the third is people feel that innovation will get a very good boost whenever IT democratization happens. This is something which came out in our survey, where both ITDMs and BDMs, a large portion of the ITDMs and BDMs, a large percentage of them felt that IT democratization leads to more innovation. So I think these are the three things I would say, the positives of IT democratization which the organization can. So empowerment of IT is about IT becoming a part of bigger strategy decisions, where IT gets a boardroom seat, or whenever IT is saying something, the senior members of the organizations are evaluating it. It is also about IT moving from back office to front office. So these are all some of the ground level realities that happens when IT is empowered. That is very clear, because every business is becoming digital, and IT has a very big say in what's the path to take for digital adoption, be it retail, healthcare, education, wherever it is. Even if you take a retail, what is a brick and mortar store alone now might have a website, might have a web shop, and it might also have a direct to consumer brand and be featured in some of the social apps like Instagram. So in all these things, IT plays a big role. So be it healthcare, be it education, be it retail, this empowerment of IT. The need of the hour is the businesses will need to have multiple digital channels, and IT becomes very important in having them. But the ground level, at least in India, has been all of them agree that IT needs to be empowered, IT needs to have a say in the strategy of the company. But actually, what on the ground level, it's felt that whenever IT says a no, that power isn't given. So this I think will evolve over time, and even the onus falls on both the IT department as well as other departments. IT department will have to tie in their metrics to the business metrics. They will have to come up with answers to the questions posed by BDMs in a convincing way, so that both of them work together to take the business forward. So IT security has been a very big focus area in ManageEngine, starting with identity and access management, privilege access management, security information events management, endpoint management, mobile device management, ransomware management. These are all have been focus areas of ManageEngine, and going forward there will be a lot more focus, including applying latest generation AI/ML technologies to IT security. So that is one big focus area. And the second focus area is enterprise service management platform. So whenever people go remote or whenever people go hybrid, employees go hybrid, it becomes important to have a single pane of window where they understand what are all the different services available within the organization, be it marketing, be it HR, be it legal, be it support within their colleagues. So all this comes in the purview of enterprise service manager, and we also have a solution and a very big focus on enterprise service manager, both on premise and on cloud. And the third is from a business perspective, we are on a journey what we call as transnational localism, where we open offices and stay invested in various countries. We have opened office in Europe, Singapore, China, Japan, Middle East, South America, couple of countries in South America. So in all this, the idea is be invested in the local economy, hire locally, so that we are able to support both the partners and the customers with feet on the street. And this has been a very big focus area for both ManageEngine and Zoho in the last 2 years. So IT security, enterprise service manager, and transnational localism, where we focus with a lot more feet on the street across the world, will be the three focus areas of ManageEngine. So one of the big news items which most of our readers or viewers would have known is Zoho Corp, which is the parent company of ManageEngine. So we had reached $1 billion in revenue. That was the one big achievement. And second is, if you look at it from India market, ManageEngine has been growing at a very good rate, more than 50% plus from a revenue perspective. And from a customer perspective, our growth rates have been more than 30% over the last 3-4 years. And India has become the third biggest market for us. I think a lot of this is happening because lots of organizations in India are adopting digital solutions for their efficiency. Plus, there's a lot of push from the government for digitalization. So both these factors together is giving us some good tailwinds, and we are seeing better adoption of a solution.